Okay, so welcome to Comfort Havoc number 2. This is my final Scarlet Spider video. So I hope in giving you guys this mega lesson about being the Scarlet Spider that you've learned something today. So hopefully, by the time I hit GalaxyCon, this will be blonde, and I'll be set for life. And since my crush won't be there because she'll be in Newport News, sadly. Hi, ZZ. Anyway, I'm going to be there in GalaxyCon. So let's end this on a high note. Did you know at one time, that Peter Parker made a novel called Webs? And he went around to make money because J. Jonah Jameson, let's face it, he's a dick. So, being that he's a very mean man, he only wanted to keep paying Peter Parker as a freelance photographer instead of paying him as a full photographer, which is why Peter Parker went to Empire University and eventually gets a doctorate. I don't remember what the hell he got a doctorate in, but Peter Parker's always been a chemist, so it probably has something to do with chemistry. I don't know what his job was after that, because when he had a daughter, Mayday Parker, he was no longer concerned with taking pictures of Spider-Man or the Bugle. However, that didn't stop young May Parker. Anna Mayday Parker was doing her thing and taking pictures in my new uniform. That's right, my uniform, which totally sucked. She got her little spotty body in my uniform, so she had to hem up some stuff because I'm like 5'10", and Mayday is maybe 5'5", maybe. Pee-wee. Anyway, so as you've learned about Scarlet Spider, if there's any questions, you should probably go Google it. Do not mistake me for KIA and the Spider Scarlets, or the Scarlet Spiders in the New Warriors. I'm not those three clones. I'm the clone of the original. But there was something special about me that made me think that I was the American OG. Sadly, when my body got impaled by that glider from Norman Osborn, I degenerated. I basically melted right there in Parker's hands. And I also gave him one last thing. As I died looking at him, in my weakened, beat up, busted up face condition, I told him it doesn't matter if he was the clone or if I was the clone. The world needs Spider-Man. Now, let's go into some what ifs. So, there is a what if. I definitely have this comic. And it is, what if the Scarlet Spider replaced Spider-Man? Now, there's this big fight, and the Scarlet Spider and Spider-Man is in there. But in this comic book, I don't remember if the continuity is in the 616, but I will say that Peter Parker was infected by the Green Goblin with a mind chip that told him to kill Mary Jane and their child, because Mary Jane was going to have a child, but she didn't have a child. And the best revenge for Norman Osborn to get was to make sure that he controlled Spider-Man by making Spider-Man kill his wife and his child. However, Ben Reilly came in and saved the day. And during the fight, both Spider-Men had a discussion. And Ben Reilly was losing this fight by the OG Spider-Man. But the OG Spider-Man said, look, Goblin's done something to me, and you can't let me leave here. You have to finish this. So there was like this generator or whatever. And Spider-Man basically killed himself, and Ben Reilly assisted suicide when he decided to help him. Spider-Man's spider senses magically, automatically, and same thing with Ben Reilly, pulled him out of the way of very dangerous threats. Not all threats, because there have been some people that the spider senses were just caught off guard. That's right. There have been cases where the spider senses have been caught off guard. And I think one of those cases was with Kane, because Ben Reilly also has spider senses, and sometimes he doesn't see Kane when Kane is coming. Fun fact, I'm sure they probably retconned that shit too. But anyway, the spider senses automatically just wherever the immediate path is for an escape. It's why Spider-Man is so rarely ever hit by people who were like as big as the Hawk, because his spider senses automatically just move him, like being a member of the Force or whatever. His spider senses just like snatch him out of the way, and he's good and he's gone. So in this fight, the spider senses was tingling, and Spider-Man told Ben, "You have to help me because my spider senses are gonna pull me out the way. You can't let me kill Mary Jane and them. You have to end this right now. I'm holding myself in place as long as I can. Drop it. So he dropped this whole damn thing on him and crushed Peter Parker, killing him instantly. So then, in the midst of all that, Scarlet Spider switched outfits. I don't know how the hell he did that, because Peter Parker was buried, but he switched outfits. And he left the building as Scarlet Spider wearing Spider-Man's outfit. He kept his suit, so that's why I said I don't know how he did that. But, it's comic books. So he left the building, he left Peter's body there, and he lived out the rest of his life as Spider-Man. He did not live out the life as Scarlet Spider. So, for a while, they were going great. Everything was happy. Him and Mary Jane were in love with each other, or at least he was in love with her. She wasn't really in love with him. So at the end of the book, I know, I'm going to ruin your day now, because it ruined my day. I thought that they were going to be a happily ever after, but it wasn't. Mary Jane knew that he was Ben Reilly the entire time, and they had a heart-to-heart. And so he went to go put on the Spider-Man suit to go on patrol, and she said, I think you're wearing the wrong outfit. He said, what? She said, look, I know you've been Ben this entire time, and we've both used each other as far as we can go. Thank you for helping me raise my little girl, but this is where our journey ends, Ben. Now, granted, they also had adult relations and everything, but I guess that's probably when she figured it out, because for face value, a clone is like an identical twin. Alright? So, I guess that's when she figured it out that I guess he wasn't doing the job that Parker could do. Yeah, I guess it sucked to be a clone, doesn't it? But anyway, he wasn't doing the job that Parker could do. I guess that's the only logical way I can figure out how she figured it out, because at the time in this What If comic, both Scarlet Spider and Peter Parker both had brown hair. Ben Reilly dyed his hair blonde when he took over the mantle of Spider-Man, so that people wouldn't get him confused with Peter Parker, because they look exactly alike. And there are some episodes of Spider-Man in the comics where they both jump on a bus together because they're riding to Aunt May's house, because Peter Parker was believing to be the clone, but he wasn't really giving up the house. And Ben Reilly decided, you're going to have a child, so it's best that you stay Peter Parker and live out your life, be a dad, be at the house, and I'll keep being Ben Reilly, and I'll keep working at Hell's Kitchen, and I'll also be Spider-Man. So then you can live up here in Queens and do your thing, and I'll live in Manhattan and do my thing in my cheap apartment working at Hell's Kitchen, washing dishes. And then, eventually, well, Mary Jane just figured it out. And she's like, we've gone as far as we can go. This relationship is pretty much over. And this is the costume you should be wearing instead of wearing Spider-Man. And he goes, how did you know? She says, I've always known. But this is where it ends. Thank you. And then it goes to black. I do have that comic. That is officially a What If comic. And Marvel, if you're watching, what if you gave me a job? That would be great. Anyway, I'm pretty sure all of this stuff has been retconned, and you guys have been great. I hope you thoroughly enjoy my Scarlet Spider lessons. Please like and subscribe. And if I ever put this thing on and do martial arts, please like, subscribe, and share. I have done some of this on my phone. I even have it on TikTok, but I think it's only one where I'm doing the fan thing. Anyway, much love. Be seeing you. I got homework to do.